I have been to Russia a few times.
Oh,
and
so you've got some insight on this.
There are no such things as lanes in Russia.
We've established that from our viewing of these videos.
And my first time out of the airport, I had been in almost more accidents than I think I had ever almost been in my entire life.
Yeah,
just in a professional taxi.
Oh my!
Like, holy shit!
Good God!
So I mean, there's legit a semi on fire as the thumbnail, so
Yeah.
it's got to be good.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 158 of the CAMcast.
Woohoo! Hello. This
Yes.
is the Fun Thursday episode.
Yes,
Happy to be here.
Damn right you are.
So good to be back.
Time traveling.
Thanks for joining us. We appreciate it, Zach.
Yeah.
My God in heaven.
Sorry.
You didn't have a choice.
I mean, I'm glad that you enjoy being down here.
It's a little cold, but I'll make do.
I've tried. God damn it.
Hey, it's warmer than it has been.
There
You
we
want
go.
the heater? I'll pass it.
No,
pass the
you
heater.
don't need to do that.
No. Well,
Because that heater is pointed at me, too.
yeah.
It's a good heater.
It's
I get like little whiffs of it sometimes.
Yeah, it's because it's oscillating. So that's anyway. I am Mike, dear leader, Doc Taste. I don't know. I don't really have anything anymore today.
Herder of cats, leader of men,
So on and so forth,
etc., etc.
so on and so on. I am joined, as always, to my right by the one, the only, the Scoots, professor of the Category Arts. You're mine, our Uncle Radical, Dave Raleigh.
Hey, guys, I got 50% off shenanigans.
Ooh.
I'm okay with that.
Okay.
He's okay with that kind of bargain. He is the one, the only, the Lord of the Boards, Zack Lords.
Present!
Attaboy. Just project to the back of the room like this is theater class.
Rip headphone users.
God in heaven, sorry. No, we're okay. There you go.
No spikes.
If your ears are bleeding after that one, then I don't know.
Maybe put
You
more cotton
haven't
balls in
ever-
there.
Don't listen so enthusiastically.
Yeah, turn them down a little bit, man. There are
If
other.
that got you bleeding, you've never listened to this podcast before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially with Gavin on.
Yeah.
Either that or we've worn you down that much.
I mean, that can
Is-
happen, too.
Is that little E next to it for ear bleed?
Yes.
Amongst other things, yeah. Anyway, and then sitting across from me and Dave, adjacent to Zach, are our guests. The one, the only, the long time coming, Mr. Casey Barrett.
Hello, hello.
And then sitting next to him, delightful new friend, Mason Moore. How you doing, buddy?
Doing well. Thanks for having me.
Awesome. Thank you for joining us, both of you. Yes, let's see. We're at Cam Automag on all the social medias, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Play for the podcast. Rate, review, subscribe, share with your friends. Support us on Patreon, patreon.com/CamAutomag.
You can get yourself some bonus content
Yep,
if you subscribe at the $5 level?
$5 and up.
$5 and up a month. That gets you access to something we just filmed, which is some reaction videos to Russian dash cam footage.
Yep.
How'd you guys like that?
It was pretty awesome. We saw a sleeping semi-truck. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was
that was-
napping. Yeah, it was great.
Taken
Yeah.
off guard a couple times from the high speeders from behind.
Oh yeah, it's one of those. It has made me kind of jaded about driving in Utah. I'm just like whatever.
Yeah, part of the fun
We've
is
got
trying.
it nice.
Yep. I just,
Which is sad.
Blinker game could still use a bit of improvement, but
you know,
for the most part of the fun is trying to figure out whether or not the video is coming from the violators or the violated.
Yes. Exactly.
So you could turn that into a drinking game, right? Like if you were wrong, like you could call it out at the beginning of the clip.
don't worry. Well,
We have Russian dash cam bingo getting worked on
Oh.
by
Yeah, don't worry.
our own Lords of the
It's
Boards
going to be
here.
fun.
Can I be back for that? I don't even want
Yeah.
to be on the radio. Just like, give me a
Just
board
hang
and
out.
I'll hang out on the couch.
Yeah, there we go.
Do I
Perfect.
have to bring my own glass?
I'll bring give a couple ideas what we got here. So right from the left lane,
Yep.
if the truck keeps on driving after the hit,
Just the keep it moving square.
I get it. Yeah.
pedestrians that aren't involved, but definitely looking at the situation. Anything to do with a taxi, ambulance, or personal
A city vehicle.
yeah, city vehicle.
Yeah.
City or municipal vehicle of some sort.
I think I'm gonna put a wild card in there. Trucks with extended limbs.
Oh, yeah.
Apparatuses.
Yeah, apparatuses. I can think of the word limbs.
Multiple apparatus.
Outdated equipment.
Apparatuses.
Equipment extended unnecessarily.
Yeah.
Yes.
Fun
Yeah.
fact: the plural of apparatus is apparatus.
Apparati?
You're kidding me.
I am not kidding.
Apparati.
So
No, it is literally apparatus. That is the plural of apparatus.
So like moose.
It's moosin'.
Moose and moose.
Moosin'.
Moosin'.
So,
Thank you.
it's
Do you
meese.
know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Back, seal in the middle. Call the hump.
All right.
That's
well,
amazing.
Man. Shout out to our loyal band of idiots who are, shout out to everybody in our private Cam Shenanigans group chat.
It's
Yeah.
amazing.
It's good stuff.
It is
This photo was hilarious but awful. For puppies.
No, not for puppies. Okay, but like, what if
was
it
for
was
pup-
for
I'm
puppies?
surprised that's not from Tumblr. Or it is from Tumblr.
Oh, that's great. Thank
Yep.
you, Brandon Kuhn.
Yep.
How do you
Podcast
get in
superfan.
here?
Oh, and
Oh, that's just his feed.
this is just my fate. You're looking
Oh.
at you're looking.
But if you
I thought you were
subscribe
saying the
at
private chat.
Oh,
if
no,
you
there's-
subscribe to the $5 and up level on Patreon,
That's where I
you
thought
get
it might be coming from.
exclusive access to the Cam Shenanigans page.
Yeah, so
Which
there's
is basically where we shitpost.
I know where I'm putting
That's
my
me.
$5.
Attaboy.
Yeah.
I'm ugly.
look at this handsome son of a bitch right here.
Oh,
I
look
look
at
so
that.
happy.
Yep.
You look so important with the headset.
that
and
was
the
a
good
shirt.
day.
That's the end of the
The,
weekend.
the shirts are mandatory,
Definitely
so
the end of the weekend. It's tucked in, too.
It's helping me
That
out.
was a
Hell
solid.
yeah,
How can I meet that man? He looks so professional.
he does.
Well, you're just gonna have to show up on the right weekend.
Mm.
You know.
There it is.
Yeah. Shout out to our loyal commenters. Whenever I post up a question, there's a lot of you who just keep coming back. Chaz, Derek, Keaton, John, Jordan from Super Tuner. You know, we got a healthy amount of people.
we even got Blake Troster and Brandon McConkey in there, and
yeah.
My hero, Jake.
We have a healthy spread of people from all walks.
and that's in the Cam Automatic page, right?
Yeah, this is just on the
I'm
Cam
gonna
Automatic
Grab
page.
that real quick.
Yeah. So this is. So again,
So in Tuesday's episode, we covered the release of the new Supra.
yeah,
Basically,
and
we gave it a pretty good once over.
real quick, shout out to shout out to Gavin for sending us an email that is
Oh, fuck you.
closed very backhandedly, but we'll get it. We can get into that one a little later.
Fuck you, Gavin.
We'll get into that one when Trent's here, and because I'm saving some of these Track Daily Crush stuffs for him. Ooh, and Sam sends in a fun little question.
Ooh, okay. So,
Oh,
do we want to hit that first, or do we want to?
Hold on, I need to respond to Evil Trent right here.
Oh, Trent. Trent. We're recording the second episode right now.
Don't worry, we can make this work.
Uh,
Yeah, the Evil Trent and our buddy Alex Crane down in
okay.
Arizona.
Well, should we just go ahead and?
We'll see what Trent has to say.
Well, I figure we can clean the Supra up real quick while he's typing up.
Yeah, while he's doing that, so
Okay. So
I asked the question. You know, what do you? I posted pictures of the new Supra. Asked people what they think, and I ran the numbers first. And I want to give you the amount of. So we had 32 comments, and here's what we got: 40.6 were negative comments regarding the Supra. 37.5 were neutral, and 21.8 were positive.
Mm-hmm.
That breaks down to 7 positive, 12 neutral, and 13 negative.
Go figure.
Do you want me to tell my story?
Eventually.
Oh, okay.
We'll
Sorry.
just clean this up. So,
Okay.
So here's pretty much. I'm just going to run down through all of the responses here.
yeah.
Joey Harrington, our lovable, huggable Joey.
Oh,
Look, that thing we're all socially obligated to be mad at. Chaz Cornea, I'm happy it's coming out, but I was hoping for something in the R35 ballpark. We'll see
Yeah.
what I really think when I drive it. Looks like an FRS with a fucked up body kit from Dubai. I liked the concept better.
yeah.
Superfan Brandon Coombe, I have every desire to drive the wheels off it, then form an opinion. Derek Edgington, pretty goofy looking, but maybe if it looks better in person, waiting for the performance aspect. Keaton Smith, of course the hero, Z4 with a Japanese body kit.
Right here.
Not wrong.
Jake Morrow, it's like a Miata ND and a GT86 had a baby.
Again, not a bad thing.
No.
that sounds amazing.
Right. So Kit, our wonderful fan Kit,
Yes.
remember that one time someone put a GT86 front on a Supra? Well, this is what happens when you fund that idea.
Man.
Dan Chalinsky, I dig it. Everyone likes to talk shit, but I bet this car is going to drive great and looks good.
Yeah. Chaz then sad sad face pointing out the fact that it has an electronic e-brake.
Well, you know what? It's gonna have to happen that way.
Yeah, like that's just, I'm sorry, that's how it's working.
Right. Jordan Perry, I've got to see it in person to feel the size and presence.
Richard Thiessen's is one of my favorites. 100% meh.
Let's see here. Josh Peterson, a little underwhelming, plus it won't even come with a manual option. Supposedly that's in the works. We don't know.
So I'd like to just point this out. Jake Atherley, thank you for, commenting. Thank you for, sticking around. You said, would rather see it in person, and then you immediately went to the picture of, the spoiler and said, where the hell is it? Ugly-ass spoiler.
I think you're going to have to see that one in person to make that statement.
Yeah. That was just, I found that delightful.
That is great. I thank you for pointing that out.
Yeah.
Jake Whitgo, buddy of mine from North Dakota, who is one of our faithful listeners.
Oh my!
How is with his good friend Steven.
How is South Canada?
South Canada really is. Yeah, you toker and hoser, don't you know? Eh? He says, "Mighty fancy FRS you got there."
Yeah.
Actually, in his native tongue, it'd be "Mighty fancy FRS you got there, eh, bud?"
Ooh,
fucking rights, bud.
Yeah.
Jake Bastian says, "Sweet Z4."
It was. So I mean, a lot of this is just. I mean.
John says it's cool. Mitch Wilson says ick.
Yeah, a lot of very few measured responses.
Well, and then we get into this. Alex Yunkin.
Yeah,
I think they waited too long to bring it back. The thrill is gone.
Yeah,
kind of like what happened to Street Fighter 3. Once it finally showed up, the hype had passed.
Hey man, Street Fighter 3 Alpha Plus was awesome.
True.
Actually, no, Street Fighter 3 Alpha was awesome. I don't think there was an Alpha Plus.
Blake Troster, I'll race just about anything if someone is paying for it.
Damn right.
I feel like all of us could say that.
Damn right you will, Ronald. Damn right you will.
Let's see here. Ben Lee, after 20 years, the Super gets an alleged 20 horsepower bump. Meanwhile, the GTR got a 300 horse bump. Again, not a related car.
Yeah, not.
Thank you, Ben.
But whatever. I like what Kelsey Hall said. Time will tell if the new generation of BMW engines are 500% more reliable than the last. It should be fine. Yep. I mean, he's not wrong in that aspect, and he is a guy who sees a lot of BMWs, seeing as how he works over at Makes and Models.
This is true.
So
Brandon McConkey says, it's rad. I bet the higher trim versions will be mega.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Brandon's one of those guys we have to get on.
It's true. We absolutely do.
I keep saying that every goddamn week. One of these days.
AJ Glassmacher, it's surprisingly reminiscent of the Mark IV, despite being based on a BMW.
I mean, yeah, but no, I mean a lot of what I'm seeing is just people complaining that it's Z4, it's not going to be a manual, and I don't like these things. If it were anything else, that would not be a problem, because
we said it on Tuesday.
Yeah.
If it was not hyped and labeled a Supra, it would be a great car.
Yeah, but
and everybody would say it's a great car. Because then you would have a couple of people say, oh, hey, that should totally be like the next-gen Supra.
Duh, Rusty's getting comfy.
Oh, that was adorable.
That was.
He was doing his little footsie dance.
Yeah.
Every time.
That was cute. Dude, he totally gets all the bitches, doesn't he?
Anyway, all right. I think,
man. Anywho, so, I mean, we can go through a few more if you want.
I think we're fine.
Okay.
I think we've kind of covered the breadth of what we're seeing. A lot of just, a lot of meh and a lot of knocking on it for, being this thing that you knew it was going to be for a very long time.
Well, and I think Joel Lionel said it best. He says, funny how all the people talking shit will end up owning one.
I think he might have meant to say not owning one.
Probably.
But
I mean, it's funny either way.
It works both ways.
It really does. Because, you could be like, yeah, talking shit about it, and then you're first in line to buy it, or you're going to talk shit about it and be like, I'm not even interested in this car in the secondary market.
I have got to mute this.
I don't even want a used one.
I've got to mute. We'll go ahead for 8 hours. I don't need it. I don't need it.
Damn.
I don't. Oh, trust me. There was like a 3-week stretch where I was not in the the group chat.
I noticed your lack of presence, but I didn't want to call you out on
Yeah,
that.
no, there are times where I just leave that shit.
I mean, I mute the Cam Shenanigans chat a lot.
Yeah, no, that is...
There are times when like Chirp and Brandon and other Brandon and Trent will all be on like this little 4-way fuck up something going on, right? And then, Manimal will kind of get a couple of his quips in, right? And then he'll write a paragraph like he usually does.
Yep.
Just, engineer.
Oh.
But
Well.
yeah, no, I can't deal with my phone vibrating in my pocket every 13 seconds.
Well, there we go. Us discussing the Supra Takes was brought to you by us, CamAutoswag.com. Go ahead and get yourself some stuff. Buy a tote bag. Fill it with things.
It's true.
We're not going to give you a discount on that because, the shit costs us money.
It's true. But here's the thing, guys. We thinned out the store.
Yeah, it's pretty much just logo tees, logo hoodies, logo hats, the tote bag, Mount Canmore, and the Chevette shirt.
Yeah, we even got rid of the socks, huh?
Yep, we got rid of the socks.
All right.
People wanted the socks. Well, I wanted the socks, and I thought other people would want socks, but
I should have bought socks.
I should have bought socks.
fuck me running. People
Socks
don't
are
want
gone?
socks. Socks are gone. The hats
We
that...
fought
Wait,
so
if
hard.
they didn't want them,
That sucks.
how did they go?
we just removed them from the store. That's what... Yeah, no, nobody bought socks. And the hats that...
Production after purchase.
the hats that people say they wanted, they're still there.
Not a lot of people bought them.
I mean,
enough.
a lot of... I posted, I'm like, if we get hats, like flat brim, snapback, do you want them?
I would.
I
Go
got
buy
a lot.
one.
I got a lot of hands up, and it's like, here's where you can get a hat.
Here's a link. Go buy them.
Crickets.
Gave them to them on a silver
true.
platter, and they
Just
shit
true.
all over it.
Yeah, just like crickets. Just somebody from the back. Boo! Thank you. Appreciate it.
It's like playing chess with a pigeon. They're just going to knock all the pieces over and strut around on the board thinking they won.
Yep. Prove us wrong, people.
You too?
Prove us wrong, people. CamAutoswag.com.
So, yeah, we've still got the I'd like to change my answer Chevette shirt.
Yep.
And that's going to start being cycled out for a shirt of the month.
Yes, we've got some fun stuff coming down the pipe.
Pinto
But,
Go Boom? Question mark.
We've
Pinto
got a
Go
Pinto
Boom.
Goes Boom.
I've been desperately trying to find just like an old Ford print ad with just the Pinto.
Oh, I've got you covered.
Yeah, good. Because I keep finding ones with just people.
No, I got a couple of them. I ran across, perhaps accidentally, I ran across a bunch of 70s and 80s Ford ads, and
Good.
a lot of them are Pintos, specifically wagon. Honestly,
Good.
Oh,
That's what we need.
I want a wagon.
and yeah, I mean that's the Pinto that went boom. Really,
Yeah.
they all did, but the Pinto wagon. That's the stylish way to go.
Really? Yeah.
When you want to go boom in style.
Pinto wagon.
Mm-hmm.
Have you driven a Ford lately?
Still one of our best intros ever.
That was the 30-second like Ford Escort clip or whatever it was.
Yup.
Oh my god, that was so nuts.
It was a thing of beauty.
It was. I need to do that again. I need to start doing that.
Listen,
I used to find all the cool 80s and 90s commercials, and I just play the clip into the microphone.
hold the bottom.
And that was like our introduction.
Yup.
What a time to not be into cars.
All right.
Oh, just that late malaise era, man.
Oh.
Just
So Malays.
Everything
you could
came with
spread
fire,
it.
whether you wanted it or
Should be a
not.
shirt. Just all the Malays. You can spread it.
oh man.
So Malays you could spread it.
Get
No,
that.
see, we need to figure it out. Like, it needs to be like a yellow Volvo, and like the back half of the wagon part of the Volvo needs to be like a stick of butter, and it's just a
Yeah.
knife going through it.
We can make that happen.
So Malays,
Or it could be
spread it.
what was the non Grand National
Regal.
Regal? You know, has the flat window.
Uh-huh.
That will that's where you pull the knife out.
Yep.
Anywho.
Amazing.
So, guys, if you have ideas for shirts too,
Yeah.
you can also bounce them off of us at mailbag@camautomag.com.
Yeah.
Or you can hit us up on all of our various social medias. We're at CamAutomag everywhere.
Casey's just over on the other side of the table, gingerly touching everything.
And look at the smile on his
It
face.
is
It's
though.
hard.
Delightful.
It's hard for me to keep my hands off things.
It's okay, man. Like,
What sound does he make?
oh man.
Just slap it. We'll find out.
Okay.
Anywho.
Hey, cool. Evil Trent got us the real quick. We're gonna go over the. we're going to go over the thing.
Oh, it's the thing.
Yeah, the Monza Group 3 Challenge. All right, coming in first yet again, Brandon McConkey, McBullet, with a 147, what is that, 641?
841.
841, all right.
So he gets 25 points there.
There we go.
Evil Trent in second with a 148.089. Good
69? No, 89. 89.
Still nice. Joey coming in third.
Cousin Joey.
Yep, Alex Crane.
El Jefe.
Our lovable, estranged pizza father.
Yeah.
And
he actually is in the ballpark.
Yes, he is.
He's only 2 seconds almost to the T behind McBullet.
Yep. And then rounding us out, eventually bringing up the rear is Chirp.
5 seconds. Over 5 seconds. Good God, man.
I mean, God bless you for trying.
Here's the deal, though. In the championship, Chirp is still ahead of Pizza Stranger.
Despite his best efforts.
By 4 points.
Yup.
And coming in over double the points, McBullet in first place, El Jefe in second, Cousin Joey shaking and baking into third place.
Yep. Man.
Okay, so.
Next week's challenge, Group 3.
With balance of performance.
At the Nürburgring GP circuit. More details are going to be in the Cam Shenanigans group page, so that's even more reason to give us $5 a month on Patreon.
Exactly. Do that.
Yep.
Be part of this cool thing. As Zach and I mentioned last week, in Tuesday's episode,
yes,
we are going to be working on an Assetto Corsa challenge, and Brandon and I are also going to be working on Forza challenges. We have got a whole bunch written down for Forza 7. We just haven't really followed through with the finalizing touches, but
and we
are going to give some of that a try.
My challenge still stands if you can kind of come in the middle of the pack, so this would be like 148.5.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just let you into the shenanigans group.
Oh, okay, cool. So top 3 basically.
Yeah, So if you do 148.5, which would bump Alex down to 5th place.
Yeah, so you would be 4th.
You would be literally middle of the pack.
Yep.
That's all I'm not expecting greatness. I don't want you to be terrible. I need mediocre.
That's what he told me when I first started.
C's get degrees, kids. That's what we need if you want to get in the group.
It's true.
So
give us a 2.0 average. Anywho.
That's just enough to keep you on the JV football team.
Right. And of course, with our challenges, obviously a saved replay, video content of it. Show us that you did
Post it on the Cam Facebook page.
Exactly.
Just
evidence.
Don't let us know, because if you can't prove that you did it, we really don't care if you did it.
Pixar didn't happen.
Oh, damn it.
No,
I was getting all ready to yell.
Did I take it?
Yeah, you did.
From the back?
Hold on, I'll give it to you.
Pixar didn't happen.
That actually sounded like it was from the front row, but still.
Down in front.
From down in front. Bouncing off the back of security over here.
Anyway.
Zach, have you ever been in the front row of a concert?
I've been to a couple concerts at like Kelby's Court and stuff, so it's basically the front row.
Oh, okay. There you go.
But I mean, were there people behind you? Because I'd be pissed if I was one of those people behind you.
Well, okay, I like the loading dock. It's 6 feet, 10 feet wide?
Yes.
If I'm standing up front, there's no one else there next to me.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
The loading dock's a great venue. Anywho, moving forth.
Story? Right. Or no?
Yeah, no. Tell your continuing saga of your run-ins with these 4Runners at this one dealership.
Oh, I was going to tell the Subaru story.
Oh, tell the Subaru story, too.
I will start with the 4Runner story. So I told the story about the blue 4Runner. They ended up got a white one. I think I told you guys I would end up going back and looking at it. I had a bad torque converter. It was fucked. It was not worth my time at all. But I got a phone call this time. This one was important. I got a phone call. So I'm sitting on the toilet at work, just doing my business, and a phone call from a number I kind of recognized. So I answered it. Hey, it's Mike from Larry H. Miller. We just got a black 4Runner, a stick engine like you like, on our lot. This one was driven in. And I was like,
I like how he had to specify that.
Yeah. He said
that's amazing.
So like, okay, this might be worth looking at. So I go down and look at it. And the lady who I talked to before, she's like, you know the condition, right? Like, it's been like modified a little bit, and it runs, but it runs with quotations around it. It's like, okay, it's fine. I've driven worse things. I can hop in it, get in it. It starts and then dies. It starts and then dies, and I'm like trying to do like a left foot brake with a little bit of gas, try to get to live and stuff, and it's just fucked. And I asked the guy, okay, well, how much do you want for it? What's going on with it? And he goes, yeah, I think we'll take $35, maybe $3,000 for it. I'm like, dude, the car doesn't fucking move. It's stuck here. And he's like, yeah, I think we can fix it up. And I'm like, you want to fix up the fucking, like, Raider stickered up, like, knockoff BFGs on, like spray paint home Steelies? Like, dude, just fix up the blue one. The blue one's beautiful. I might have to post a photo in the Cam shenanigans when I drive past it next time.
I think you're going to have to. Or
good
maybe
car.
just post it on the Cam Facebook page.
Yeah. I'll post all 3 of them.
There we go.
But I had another encounter with a Subaru. So most of you guys know I drive my daily's 01 Subaru Legacy wagon. Great car, loved it, and I ended up blowing up the clutch and the engine within a week period. It was not my proudest moments at all. He's laughing at me already.
When it rains, it storms.
Yeah, it's going downhill from here. So one of my best friend's girlfriend had an 01 Outback, good engine and other parts I wanted myself. It had the leather interior, heated seats. So I bought it from her, and then the next night, her boyfriend, my best friend, and a couple of friends were like, "Hey, we should go joyride this thing, dude." And so this is how all of our adventures happen. We planned to go do one thing, which was go up the canyon and come back, maybe find some snow to do some dumb stuff in. Who knows? I can't say that. And then we'll be like, "Oh, let's go do this thing," and someone's gonna be like, "No, that doesn't sound like fun." Then someone else goes, "What? Why not? Right, nothing else going on tonight." So we end up doing like 15 or 16 like super dumb things all in a row. So we go up the canyon. We head out to the Great Salt Lake. There's like a road that goes on to the beach. Almost get like stuck like a mile and a half out there. Like, and this place, like, you can't get to it. It's like off the highway. It's crazy. And we're like, oh shit. Then we realized a couple last year, my friend got his Explorer stuck out in some dry water salt beds. We call it like the evaporation beds.
It's called mud.
Well, but it's the big ponds, evaporation ponds.
Yeah.
Lake beds.
It lamens it up.
Yeah, basically. And so we decided we'd go find that spot again and see if we can find our tools we left out there because, I don't know, we want our broken pan back because that sounds like fun. Mm-hmm. So we get out there and realize we're not going to be able to make it on the lake bed. It's too muddy and whatever. So we're just fucking around out in some of the hills. This is on Stansbury Island. And I remembered this is an auto car. And auto cars, you can put the fuse in and make it front-wheel drive.
No,
and
you take the fuse out.
No, you put the fuse in. Put the fuse in. That's what happened to me. Put the fuse in and became front-wheel drive.
Okay. That's not how that transmission works, by the way.
Well, so I put a fuse in it, front-wheel drive light came on, and I had front-wheel drive.
Right.
That's what happened to me.
That's not how it works.
His story sounds legit, though.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that you ended up driving it home at 30 miles an hour tells me that didn't work.
Okay, fine. We'll get there in a second.
Oh, there's more to the story?
Yeah. So I've never owned a front-wheel drive car. So my friend is showing me the handbrake turn, like instant slide type thing, like you do in like a wet parking lot. And so I drew it a couple times and I can't get it down. So he goes, "Oh, I'll show you. After like probably 15 minutes of doing donuts around a single pallet, we took up a little jump and stuff. And so he gets in, he goes, "I'll show you how to do it." And I trust my friend. He's a good friend. He's known for a long time. He's a good driver. Does it 3 times, and the third time he shatters the CV cup. And we're like in the middle of fucking nowhere. We're halfway to Wendover, about 15 miles into Stansbury Island. We're on the backside of the island, up on the mountain and stuff. And I just blew up a CV.
Blew it up.
Blowed it up.
That blew it up real
It
good.
blew it up.
And we're like, oh fuck! And my friend is like being like, he's getting all apologetic. "Oh, dude, I'm so sorry," like almost crying. And I'm like, "Dude, you're fine. If I did not think we'd break something, we wouldn't have come out here. I do not care." He's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry."
I knew we were going to break something, so I'm going to go out into the middle of nowhere. That sounds fantastic.
Well, it's an adventure.
It is an adventure. I'll give you that. I have been on a few adventures out at that same lake bed area as of recently.
You should let me know.
It just takes over.
Yeah, you get out there
that
and
feeling takes over.
You forget about like, I got to make it home from this.
Yeah.
So I get out of the car, pull the fuse out, and I realize that the car will still move, but it will only move at 30 miles an hour. And in my head, it's like 3 o'clock in the morning, so I'm not all there right now. In my head, I'm like, oh, if I pull the ABS fuse, the ABS pickup won't tell the engine to transfer power. It will just throw it all to the back like it was doing beforehand. And so I pulled that, and it worked for about 2 seconds, meaning it didn't work. I just thought it did. And we had to drive back from Stansbury Island on surface roads at 35 miles an hour. If you go above, it sends the power to the front and you lose power. And if you go, if you like let off the gas too fast, it does weird power shifting. So set Google to Salt Lake City, no highway. And it takes us through Grantsville, into Tooele, past the racetrack, and to the Tooele main road. And it was this off-road that we thought, a road that diverted from, what road is that right there on Tooele? Gets you into Tooele? Is that road called?
I don't know.
Yeah.
No.
The one you probably should avoid.
Yeah. So I'm like, it
All
takes me
roads
off.
to Tooele.
It takes me off that, and it's like, there's a road that will take me from the highway off ramp to 201, and I'm like, that's great. I don't have to take any of I-80. I don't have to deal with any of that bullshit trying to do 30 miles an hour. So we get up there, and it's legitimately some dude's driveway that crosses over the railroad tracks and is like this canyon off-road, like intense trail that leads up over the mountain and down the backside of like the refinery is.
Good lord.
And I'm like,
You took it?
no, I didn't take it. I'm like I don't think I could have done that in my all-wheel drive Subaru, let alone my one-wheel drive Subaru at like 2-3 o'clock in the morning.
Good God.
And so we had to take I-80, and we're getting passed by everybody.
Hazards on?
Hazards on.
right.
I'm like on the rumble strip, trying not to get hit by anybody.
Good God.
And I'm like, dude,
Sounds like one of those Russian car accident videos I'm making.
and I'm like, I just bought the car. Like, the title's not even in my name yet, dude. If I get pulled over, it's going to be a fun night for this officer. We made it back. I was in bed 4:30. My friends don't want to hang out with me for a couple weeks now.
Understandable.
Yeah.
God.
But you weren't even driving, though, when it broke.
Yeah, which the guy still feels so bad. I'm like, dude, if you wouldn't have broken it, I would have got in right after you and tried to show you up.
Yeah.
Like, I would have broken it. So, yeah, now I got to fix a CV on my parts car.
Wow.
Yeah,
Dumbass.
there's my awful story. Thank you for that. Let me vent.
You're welcome. What we're here for.
What we're here for, brought to us in part by this wonderful spaghetti and chicken you've made.
Yep.
And by
Dog.
Steady Bro Clothing.
I was going to say dogs sitting on couches, but
But that dog is adorable sitting on the
Yes.
couch.
Thank you for bringing it.
Thanks for
Some-
having.
some-
Thanks again. You know.
All
Yeah,
of
no problem.
both of these dogs.
yeah.
Prima is a beautiful pooch.
Oh, there she is. Just wondered where she wandered
Down.
off to.
Down on the floor. Being
There
all
we go.
comfy.
Lucky
Dog.
And
puppies.
if there's any girls listening to this, if that happens, the dogs are as good looking as us. So I'm just saying.
If they're
Not wrong.
There's no such thing as a bad looking dog. So
I've seen some ugly dogs, though.
yeah.
They're even cute when their tongues are hanging out of their mouths.
Oh, boy.
But yeah, Steady Broke Clothing.
SteadyBroke.com, steady.broke on all various social medias.
Yep. Head over to steadybroke.com, put a bunch of their cool stuff in your cart, and use coupon code CAMAUTO15 at checkout to save 15% on your entire order.
Mm-hmm. Just because you're broke doesn't mean you can't live your dreams.
Steady Broke Clothing. All right. So, I posed the question to the people, only regarding Casey, because Mason, not gonna lie, didn't not know if you were gonna be showing up tonight. It's kind of
I have a question for you later.
I gave him
for
the whole
me?
weekend to
I'll
figure
ask
it
you
out.
later.
yeah. It was one of those I bought extra stuff just in case, but didn't wasn't 100%. So but glad you're here.
We're lucky to have
I was
him here.
looking forward to it. I really was.
Good.
Kickstart my radio career.
There we go. I mean, well, I hate to burst your bubble. This technically is not radio.
I mean, kickstart my podcast career.
there you go. That's the right
This,
spirit,
it's a gateway media.
or whatever.
And you're a natural at it.
Yeah.
All right, working on it.
Hey, you're
I was working on my podcast voice all weekend too. It was definitely
Oh, really?
yeah. Like in Bruce Almighty, when he's
Yeah.
rehearsing in the mirror, his Walter Cronkite.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, same thing. My Howard Stern was doing that,
Nice. I like it.
but maybe I'll bust it out later.
Maybe. Casey, what did you do? What did you do to prepare for this?
Listen to more episodes that I haven't listened to before.
There you go.
Caught up on some stuff.
Try to figure out what you got yourself into.
Yeah, I wanted to feel like I've been here before.
Okay.
Well, I mean, we've been talking about this for a while, and God, we've known each other for so very long.
Yeah.
Like,
Almost a decade.
yeah, almost a decade. So, I mean, yeah, I remember first approaching you when you had your red DSM, wanting to shoot photos of it.
Yeah, that was definitely over a decade ago.
Yup.
Nice.
The Fireball.
Like many things, it just it never happened.
It happened for a little. Oh, the photos.
Oh, the photos. Yeah.
Yeah,
No, the photos.
no.
No.
Always too busy.
Yeah.
Everyone.
That's how. Hey, man, I wasn't too busy. I had all the time in the world.
Myself, then.
There you go.
Casey was too cool, is what it was.
No.
Damn.
Always.
No.
I mean,
That's that DSM thing. I get it. I was into DSMs then.
Dude, me too. That's how I got into it, man. It was
Who wasn't?
my first race car, right?
Oh.
You know?
What are these DSMs you guys are talking about?
No way.
No,
There's
I know what they
isn't
are.
there an up to speed? Is there an up to speed?
There's an up to speed on
DSMs?
Luckily, I knew what they were beforehand.
Yeah,
But that's a very older generation car people.
Yeah.
car.
It's
Absolutely.
definitely a decade
Yeah, that is
ago car.
Absolutely. I feel like anybody in today's day and age, your peers.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh dear God, it's gonna go bad, isn't it?
No, I'm
No.
just saying,
Okay.
people that are about your age, 20, 21,
Yeah.
22, right? Or let's just even round out and say 18 to 24,
Yeah.
right? Most
key
of those
demo.
people have no idea what an Eclipse GSX even is. They probably have never seen one, unless they're a real car guy. They probably have never worked on one. They've probably
Yeah,
never
never worked on
driven
one.
one.
Or maybe
They know more about their Lancer than
Yeah.
than you
Exactly.
think they would.
Exactly. They're like, well, Mitsubishi made something turbocharged.
Yeah.
and all-wheel drive in the 90s
Or
80s, dude.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I
or
mean,
their only interaction with it was, Fast and the Furious.
well, I feel like
and that's
It's a second gen 420.
yeah,
car.
exactly.
Yeah.
I feel like
Third gen.
I
Or
feel
excuse
like
me.
the original DSMs, the first and second gen DSMs, I feel like those are almost
Purple one?
pervasive
Purple one was
cars.
Green one.
Oh,
The bus.
yeah.
The bus is
Not even
first
thinking
one.
about the green one.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I feel like they're almost they're just pervasive, insulting cars. Because
Well, I
it's
think-
a car that, if you own it, and I mean, especially if you've owned more than one, like I have, it's one of those cars where the car doesn't give a shit who you are. It's going to do what it wants to do, regardless of what you tell it to do. It's one of those cars where it's like, yeah, I know you just spent a lot of money building this motor, but fuck this clutch right now, okay?
Yeah. It's like fuck me. No, fuck you.
Exactly.
I knew we were going to be talking about this, right? And today, driving down the road.
Hold on. I even said
Coming home from work and pulling onto my street is this 98 Eclipse, and I'm pretty sure more than half the people in this valley have seen this car before. It's half black, half white, and it has a big green diamond star emblem on the side. And I'm just like,
No, dude, it's the monster sticker, not a no. Other one.
Either way, yeah, there's probably
Is
two.
that second? Yeah.
Wow.
But this is the one that's up the street from our place, and I'm just thinking to myself, man, it's only the really terrible ones that survive.
It really is, because the clean ones, the nice ones, they all get sent to the gulag, man.
Yeah,
No.
I mean, there is one decent looking second gen that I see on my way to work sometimes.
And you're not talking about the replica of the Fast and Furious car.
No.
Okay.
It's definitely lived a life, but I think it's found its way into the hands of somebody who's just like, I've been through some shit too, car.
I'll take care of you.
They're almost
like two people just out of rehab,
like Forrest Gump and Lieutenant Dan.
Exactly.
Lieutenant Dan.
DSMs are that really brutally honest friend, and the owners of those DSMs, if an 18 to 24-year-old owned it, it would be like that kid that's looking for a safe space.
God.
Oh boy. It's a car that insults you.
Yeah.
You have to have a certain
Makes you
abrasive
hard.
character in order to own it. Like
It will test
Be thick-skinned.
I
for
owned.
sure.
I had a facelift first gen GSX auto that in the 8 months I owned it, I put 3 engines in it and drove it for a grand total
Damn.
of 2 hours.
Damn, I dailied my 1GA
You are
for
baller.
almost 2 years in high school.
Oh, man. Damn.
Yeah,
Man.
it was like the loudest, most most like fuck you car. Ever
Yeah,
in the
exactly.
World,
Yeah.
right?
Exactly.
So-
I mean, I get it. I've had Starions and Conquest too. I get it. Like, they're right on the same line there. But yeah, they're a car that's just insulting to your character. It's just like, I don't give a shit.
but then everybody else gives a shit about it too.
Yeah.
Everyone's
Right.
like, what the fuck is that thing?
Right.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's how actually I met Casey. Well,
Nice.
that's how I think it's kind of how Casey and I became better friends. Was I hung out with his little brother quite a bit, and then so it kind of got more worked into the car culture through those two. And then finally was like, I want a DSM because Casey was building his black one at the time.
Nice.
And then was dailying another one and was selling one, but it was automatic and I wanted a manual. So that was a segue. And that's kind of how mine and Casey's relationships kind of flourished at that point. And then snowboarding happened and then more car things happened.
Well, and it's crazy, like, how every guy that's owned a DSM has a story like that. Like, I know Yom because of my Eclipse.
Yep.
Like, I used to be the guy that would organize, like, barbecues and meats for, like, the local DSM club, right?
Yeah.
And then I went to it was a karting place in Layton, and that's where I ran into Jeff with the ITR, started hanging out with the Honda guys, and that's when I met Mike. And then started hanging out with the Hondas and did the whole Honda thing, and then went back into Mitsubishis and then back into Hondas for a second.
And now you're just kind of kicking around wherever.
I just do everything now.
Yup.
Like a car enthusiast would.
Yeah, it's
Yep.
true. It's true. I mean, I got an LS swap going right now. I've got, I'm swapping a Miata right now. I'm building a Oldsmobile for somebody, putting a motor in a Mustang.
Damn.
My
God,
Mustang?
No.
I was say,
I got so much shit going on now.
a little bit of ways away.
Well, speaking of, all right, so we know how Mason got brought into the fold. Casey, how did you wind up in this vaunted position where you are? Like, let's okay. I knew you when you had your red car. What happened between me knowing
First
you with
in
the
red car.
You don't have to. I don't. Just like we'll go ahead and say high school red car.
Well, funny thing, high school definitely was not too entertained with automobiles.
Yeah.
Definitely, Dad would take me four-wheeling and whatnot, and cars were just part of my life because of my father being a general auto mechanic. And so there was always, new adventures of, something that Dad brought home, And I remember the ride in a car that turned me into, in import cars in general,
like the moment.
Yeah, just being, just intrigued with an automobile. And believe it or not, it was a little 88 CRX, and I think I was like 15 years old. And it was like B series swapped, had 1.6 liter.
That's a car that will change your life.
Yeah, gutted, intake, exhaust, some VTEC tuner or something, right? And I had no idea what VTEC was.
Just a little dial where you could just turn it down, just turn down the engagement point.
Yeah, and that car was so loud, and just when that crossover came on, I had no idea what that was, and it blew my mind that the wheels started spinning when the engine got louder, and from that point forward, it was just, how does this happen, What creates, this type of power or difference in an automobile, and that same guy, it's funny, he told me that he owned a Eagle Talon years prior to the CRX. And he says, if you want a car, you get an Eagle Talon. And then before I knew it, like a couple years later, just randomly find $800 DSM Eagle Talon. And
which is ridiculous because they're fetching quite a bit more money than that these days.
Those were the days.
Those were the days that you could buy that car for, I bought it, $600-800, something. Supposedly the engine didn't work, and or the transmission didn't work, one or the other. But you could buy a car like that, fix it, and sell it for $5,000. And those days are long gone. But yeah,
That got really loud,
I
Zach.
don't know what happened.
Zach's over here doing his
You're
best.
just turning knobs.
I was like, I'm quiet again.
No,
Amen.
I turned your gang like a minute turn, and everything got really loud.
Zach's doing what we brought him here for.
All the gains.
Yup.
Overly excited soundboard guy.
Yeah. Amen. But
Yeah, that white car, that first car brought so many adventures, and I met so many people through that car.
Oh.
the automotive world in the Salt Lake Valley can lead you to some great friendships. It's
Oh, yeah.
pretty
Ain't that
cool.
the damn truth?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and it doesn't stop happening.
No.
You know, I'm speaking of when I was, 19 years old, and now I'm 33, and I'm still meeting, new people, new friends every single day due to this little culture that is, being entertained with automobiles.
Yeah.
So
That's like 90% of the people I know.
I think that's
I know a
100%
lot of people.
you know.
Yeah.
I know a lot. Actually, I don't know everybody because of cars.
Hmm.
But I agree with you. It's definitely a big portion for a lot of us.
Yeah.
Then selling the white car got me actually the black car that turned into the first race car, I guess you could call it.
I vaguely remember the black car. Vaguely.
Yeah, that one was in the garage for a long time and came out every once in a while type thing.
Yeah, that's really what I remember it being. Just like, oh,
Was that by choice or out of necessity?
Well, kind of by choice because I was looking up to the wiser ones that supposedly have done this before. Throwing a bunch of parts on a automobile trying to make it go faster. Don't drive it until you're 100% done. Type of thing. And
Which, for the most part, is pretty good advice if you have an idea of where you're building it.
yeah.
yeah, and it sat in the garage for a long time until could start it up, drive it, take it down the street, see if it move under its own power, and then after that it stayed in the garage for only short periods of time. After that, I wanted to drive it every single time thereafter. But it like first time out of the track it went like 1090 or something.
Damn.
Yeah,
before,
buddy.
Yeah, before I knew it, everyone that I did not know was standing around me in the car, and that was just like the beginning of, holy shit, I did something.
Yeah. Nobody gives a shit about you unless you go fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny, just spending gobs of money to impress people that you don't even know, type of thing. But
Right.
that whole adventure and journey through that first race car, the black car, and then on into the second Talon, that definitely was my personal education that has gotten me to where I am right now, and I wouldn't change it for anything. It was, man, it takes a lot of time and money to go that fast with a car, and I'm glad I did it when I was young, because there's no way I could even keep up with that task right now.
Yeah, you're right. And so how did you get from going fast in a straight line with DSMs to working with a bunch of race car drivers and going around corners? And
Well, it's funny that you guys said that I replaced Cole from being on here tonight or the other episode. Actually, Cole is the person that transitioned me from drag racing to the road racing culture.
Nice.
He would always poke and joke around, breaking stuff drag racing. He acted like you never break anything on the road course. Come out to the
we all
road
know
course.
that's a load of shit.
Yeah.
Especially coming from him.
Come out to the road course. You'll have so much more fun in your car. And yeah, he was talking me into doing it with my own vehicles, and not necessarily as a job or a career. But I've looked up to Cole for a very long time, and all the steps that he's taken from the early days, and always looked up to him being out there at that racetrack and taking care of everyone that spoke. Yeah, that would talk to him, and he would every like 4 months call me up. Casey, you want to come out and work on some race cars?
When you coming out?
And it was in the middle of me in my bike shop dreams, building my own bike shop and going on that adventure. That's a whole other story. But one day I wrapped up the bike shop idea, and before I knew it, going out doing private track days and NASA weekends with alongside with Cole and the business he was working with out there at the time. It was an eye opener into, wow, I fit into this very well, and it was very attractive to just being around that caliber of vehicle and, working on those cars and, taking care of also the gentlemen that drove them, they were nice people to be around in general as well, And then the next thing that happened was working with Cole when he started up Life Motorsport. And that was just a huge, jump start. It was 2015 at that time, and I think we built maybe 5 to 6 cars that year, race cars that year.
Wow.
Whether they were Z's or the GTR stuff.
Yeah,
with everyone in the shop.
That was a busy year for you guys.
Yeah, it was out of control, it was just NASA building cars, Pikes Peak, getting ready for Australia, all sorts of stuff in 2015. At the same time, I was also doing Pirelli World Challenge with Ian Lacy at that time. That was the first season with Steve Burns and his V6 Mustang in the TC class. And so that is where that came from, was giving Ian a hand with that while I was, doing other things. And the program with Ian just started to get a little bit bigger and a little bit more appealing, but at the same time had some family issues come up, and so Cole and I kind of split ways, with me giving a lot of my time to him. I thought I was going to be giving it to my father, and that lasted for a little while, and then but a little while became pretty short, and then I was just doing stuff with Ian, and then also freelancing myself, doing general automotive repairs, and that's 2016 at this point. And after that, it was full time in the shop with Ian. We got the brand new Ginettas, and the whole goal was to get ready to go PWC racing. So the program got heavily focused on the new clients that came in and getting those cars, sought through, and learning everything about them, and basically creating a program from the ground up, because it was whole new customers, whole new class to be raced in, the GT4 category, compared to the TC stuff. So TC stuff, you got a lot of people showing up with their own trailer and trucks, one-man band type thing, but you don't see that in the GTS category at all.
Yeah, no, that is that we are a racing team, and we are here to do some racing.
Yeah, we are here to win. Yeah. Everyone there is there to win.
Yep.
And, it was a whole season of NASA with the Ginettas, with Frank and Drew, getting them up to speed in the cars. We did a half-year debut at Road America in PWC, then did the home race here.
Yeah.
And then I can't remember if that year we did the 8-hour as well.
No.
I think it was the first attempt.
We did do the 8-hour.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was the first attempt at the 8-hour. And then, because
the diff fell out of the car. Then we got the revised cars.
You don't say that.
Oh, wait, and then...
Yeah, the car broke. It only made 5 hours, 45 minutes due to unseen hardware preparation. That you wouldn't think that a socket head Allen bolt could shear through quarter-inch thick strap steel like a razor blade, but it does.
The damnedest things happen in endurance racing, don't they?
Yeah, it does. And but we came back this last season, that same race, and man, we were leading the thing just
we talked about it.
It was so good, so good. And it came down to this crazy yellow flag when we were already in the pit box, and it just we fell back a couple spots from there. And there was some other people that had some different strategies that worked really well in that back half of the event. And finished the whole thing out. Redeemed ourselves.
Oh yeah.
So it was good.
Yeah. Well then, in addition to that, last year, you. So you were crewing for Jen Gannett in
Oh,
her TCA,
yes.
in the
Yeah.
Global MX-5 Cup car.
Pretty much like skipped over all the good stuff right there.
Yeah, we're gonna work our way back, and she won herself Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, she entered every single race, raced every single race.
Yeah.
The only, also secondly, the only Mazda competitor to race in every single event as well. And yeah, it was a wild ride for her, but she took every single bump and went for the ride. And she's actually going to be doing again this next season. So,
Which is awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, ending with Rookie of the Year was, I knew that she had it, but it was just, no one told me, but I knew that she had that in the bag. And sure enough, she ended up receiving it down at the banquet. And surprisingly, the TCA crew won a Crew of the Year award.
Yep.
So that goes to myself and John Stott, and then her brother John that's on the team, and pretty much everyone else that is in the GT4 side that gives a hand when they can. We jump back and forth between the trailers. So
nice.
Yeah, it was a really good surprise for all of us. So it was awesome.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
And then Drew won Sprint X Championship in GT4, and that was really cool to watch come to fruition, because at the very beginning of the year, it was Zack and Ian were like, we're going to get Drew a championship this season, and they did.
And that was one of those, because we kept talking about it, mentioned on the podcast, every time there was a race, like, and here's what these guys did.
Yeah.
Made specific note of the local boys.
Yeah, it was cool. I think we were up on the podium every event except for like 2.
Yeah, that's
and those 2 events we had crazy mechanical malfunctions.
Yeah.
Radiator cap. Double beaded tire from Pirelli.
Yeah.
In the mold, it was double beaded in like the carcass of the tire.
So
what?
Slip backwards from the bead. So it like slipped back to where it would set. And so the tire, you didn't have, full contact on the tire, which made the car fall off. But Drew still drove the shit out of the car the entire race. And then it came, there's one picture in particular that Michael Wells shot, and you could see the tire debeaded or set back off the lip of the wheel.
He's not even touching the rim.
And it's the craziest shit. And like,
looks like it's floating 2 inches back on the barrel.
Yeah.
It's
pretty wild.
Yeah, it was pretty wild.
I just want to tell Prima that she can get up on the couch if she wants to.
Yeah,
Prima, go
that
be
was what the
comfortable.
big pause was for.
Yeah. Go be
No, just
Come on, get up there.
because I saw her just like go and then stop and then turn around and just be like, well, okay.
To be fair, Rusty's kind of like egging her on. She's like, try it.
She's like, this is my couch.
Like this. Yeah, you want this pillow?
There we go.
So in addition to all of this crazy stuff,
Yeah, and also,
I mean, you also have started drifting. I mean, that's how I met you.
Yes.
is through drifting. So what made you choose to drive a Subaru of all things?
Yeah.
I think that's the only question I've ever really had.
And that's
for
trying
you.
to egg on all the haters.
Yeah, and that's also a question that we got on Instagram from Sam Babler. He just, tell us more about this drift Subaru.
Well, random project that came together with my buddy Jordan Peck and I. He has a place down in Murray in Motion Garage. He has made things that were not supposed to be rear-wheel drive on his own. Speaking of a Ford Festiva.
Oh.
Yeah.
Nice.
So that
He's a man of my own heart.
yeah, the car still exists. You could actually
really?
drive it or even own it if you wanted to.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
It is a fine piece of art.
And it doesn't take up a whole lot of space.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
Because Festiva.
Yeah, and so the reason why I mentioned that little project is because the idea of that thing also got transferred over into the Subaru, which is a Toyota pickup truck rear axle.
Yeah, that was the thing that blew my mind. I saw you at an RMR event. I was like, oh, hey, cool, that's Derek's old car. it looks like it drives really well, but like there's something weird about the rear end.
I
And
was
somebody's
with
like,
you that day.
It looks
Yeah.
funny.
I
Yeah.
was like, I think I told you I had a different axle.
Yeah, you were like, oh yeah, somebody told me it had a solid axle, and we were walking by some group of people, and some dude was like, yeah, it's got like a truck axle in it. I'm like,
That's how I met you. Was the
fuck,
first
it
time.
does.
You're like, yeah. Can we look underneath it? And you're like,
I can't.
yeah.
I can't remember if I saw like you like do it like pictures on Facebook or you just told me, but it was just like, oh, it's got a solid rear. I
Yeah.
just remember like,
It's probably
Oh.
in person.
yeah,
It blew my mind.
Yeah,
Because
and
at the time, I was looking at making my Outback rear-wheel drive, and then you're like,
You were
oh, yeah, it's
talking
got
about
a
making
truck
my
axle and shit.
Outback out wheel drive.
That's true.
yeah, Jordan had the vision and master plan with it. I personally wanted to go independent in the back, right?
Yeah.
You know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it type thing. And so, but the car had nothing in it. Like when I bought the car from Derek,
Yeah.
it was a chassis that had blue paint on it on the outside,
and it was
a dashboard, and a roll cage.
Yeah.
That was it.
I mean, yeah, he kept
Yeah.
all the
Nothing.
STI brakes, he kept all the subframes,
Yeah.
he kept the motor.
Everything. There was some wiring harness in it. I think that was the lucky part. But yeah, nothing in the back, nothing in the front. Had to source every piece of suspension for it. And so in a way, I was 100% like, let's go down this road of the truck axle. And at the same time, I was still pushing for the independent suspension. But at the same time, his grandfather had just passed, and his grandfather just so happened to have a two-wheel drive 1980 Toyota pickup truck.
Yeah, buddy.
So we went, jump-started it, took it off of his grandfather's property, and brought it down to the shop, cut it out, threw the rest of the truck to the scrapper because that's what the sisters wanted. And, yep, it happened. And
Hell yeah.
it has been so reliable. That car, I've broken one axle in that rear axle, but that is it. But the transmissions, they won't hold up.
Well, but it's surprising to me that you don't go through them more, because like that's a pretty mild, I want to say mildly built EJ25 in your car. Like it makes really good power for what it is.
Yeah, it's making like 300, so
Yeah.
it's really fun.
And so you're putting this through like NA, like Outback and Forester and Legacy transmissions and Impreza transmissions, which blows my mind, because I daily drive a stock 5-speed Outback and I worry about the transmission.
Yeah, it
I
was
broke
like
a fucking axle just doing nothing.
In an auto car. No
yeah.
yeah, you gotta weld them up, then they're kind of twice as strong.
Yeah, but it's still it boggles my mind. Like there was a little bit of faith, like when I was like, "Oh man, what trans do you run in this?" You're like, "I don't know, some random ass 5-speed from the junkyard." I'm like, "What do you even mean right now?"
Yep. Budget build. Yeah, it's like way more than a budget build. But yeah, I didn't want to spend the money on the 6-speed,
Well, shit, I
just
don't-
to
Should
experiment.
show him that.
I don't blame you at all. Oh yeah, this aborted 3D print that he is proud of,
What's that?
that I think of. It's
Oh,
an
it's a
EJ.
cylinder
It's an
head.
EJ25 cylinder head.
Oh wow.
Or
That's
part
I
of
just
it.
saw that and I was like, this applies. It makes sense.
Tangent. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it in the middle of more weird desk things.
This is how he steals my print.
In the middle of putting a 6-speed in that thing and
Hell
gonna
yeah.
shred some more out of it this next season. Find some more time to get in that seat. It's my
Hell yeah.
favorite thing to do. It'd be all-wheel drive if I had enough money. That's the only reason
Go-
why it's rear-wheel drive.
Going after OP then. Huh?
yeah.
Well, yeah, we'll see. I have faith because I've been thinking about putting axles in the front of it
Oh.
and matching up the diff ratios, leaving the solid axle on the back, and
Oh.
going
Well,
out and
what-
clutch kicking it. But
what ratio is in that Toyota axle right now?
we changed it up to 411s in the back.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah,
So you
went
just
down
get
to
a
the
just get
four-wheel
an
drive
Outback or a
store.
Forester trans, then you're good.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
It'd work out.
sick.
Yeah, I almost thought about changing the rear gear ratio set to match whatever's in the front, but
Oh, you got 3.9, 410, and 444 to choose from. So
yeah, something should be in stock.
yeah,
Yeah.
hell yeah.
On one of your random adventures to go get another transmission. Just start
Yeah.
taking other stuff.
Well, I've got a bunch of that shit if you need.
He does.
No,
he does.
I've been getting rid of stuff as best I can.
I don't blame you.
Any stuff that would work for me? I'm looking at the market.
It's ended up just I've come down to just a box of extra drift car parts.
There you go.
Every time something breaks, by
He'll make you a good deal on a whole drift car, though.
double.
Hey.
Do you want to trade for a 93 Ford Mustang convertible?
That's pretty tempting.
Okay.
I'm falling in love with the Mustangs now.
Yeah, I got one willing to.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's ready for an engine swap and a trans swap.
Yeah.
It's ready.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
So-
No.
Oh, I'm stuck with it forever now.
Yes.
It's my fate.
So before we dive into the Facebook questions, so
Can I ask my?
ask your question.
Oh, how do I get a beard like yours?
First of all, shave against the grain.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
Truly, shave against the grain. And just don't touch it, man. So you got to power through the awkward phase. It's gonna be patchy.
Still
It's
got to
gonna-
shave it
gonna
once
be
a week, though,
questionable.
right?
Shave it once a week, though, against the grain. And even if you don't have much to shave, just get
Just
after
keep
it.
working on it. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Do you
And
use
then-
any ointments or lotions or?
I do. I use.
You said ointment like it's an issue. Like, got all
Do you have anything to control that
My beard
outbreak?
is a problem. No, yeah, daily beard oil regimen from I use High West beard oil.
Okay.
They're local guys, super good dudes. But
Doesn't V12 have one?
V12 has one too. Yeah,
They do.
V12.
V12 Lifestyle. Another local guys. Oh,
I don't think Mason knows V12.
oh.
I don't. I'm honestly like the worst. Like, I love cars, car enthusiast, but when it comes to like straight up sports car culture, I'm like, I only like my team and that's it because my team's the best. So
There you go. I don't think that's a bad attitude to have.
Yeah, see, Formula E, you get it.
We got to talk.
You get it.
We got to
not
talk more
Formula
about
E. God damn it.
BMWs.
But anyways, yeah, shave against the grain, power through the awkward phase. Beer, I think beer has also helped quite a bit too.
Beer has helped mine.
Yeah.
I will say.
See, Dave's got a fantastic beard.
Oh, thank you.
I'd sit on it.
Damn. Well, if that's an endorsement, I don't know what is. Holy shit.
But
Right.
Yeah, well, thank you. I appreciate it.
moving forward.
Yeah.
I'll work on it.
So
Next time I see you,
Okay, I actually shaved 2 days ago, so
I was just gonna say.
I'm surprised you've picked up a razor since you've been working for me. Like, you really should have just gave up the day I gave you a job.
I've shaved like 5 times since I started working for you.
Probably, yeah.
And you've actually worked for me for a minute.
Yeah.
Okay, so
So Casey, you got to go to Daytona for the preseason test, the Roar.
Yes, I did.
Okay. So
Lucky bastard.
So did Mason.
so did Mason, guys.
Hey.
I've gone to all the World Challenge stuff that I've ever done, like all the big boy racing stuff, has been World Challenge out at UMC. That's all that I've got.
Same here.
it's
Yeah.
a
So
great introduction.
yeah,
Yeah.
but
Mason.
but this is full throated, top of the pyramid. Like what the hell was the Roar like? Because I am just so curious.
I wish I could have walked around more than I was able to. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was walking over to the main garages and seeing the crowds of people around all the DPI cars, the GTLM cars. The real deal guys.
Yeah.
The big factory teams. It was something else to see. Well, it's hard. It depends which track you show up to, to get the fan base. But down in Daytona, it's just it just happens naturally, and that's like one of the best things, in the whole atmosphere is seeing the people come out to actually see the cars versus us just putting on the race to have it recorded to be broadcasted on television. So seeing all the fan interaction and watching the pit stop, driver change practices happening in the garages right there in front of you. It was really cool. And the pit lane is something else as well.
Yeah.
There's you get a taste of it during like the GT challenge, like enduros and whatnot. But there was a lot more stuff in the way this time. Yeah. There was so much stuff in pit lane. It was we have to come in second to the main teams that are set up permanently in pit lane. So, this weekend,
in the email from the series to the powers that be, in our team administration, they remind you at the bottom of the email that we are second to the the 24 hour. So stay out of the way.
Yeah.
Like don't make a fuss. Just stay out of the way. Do your thing.
But it was one of the most complicated pit stall scenarios we've ever had. I'm pretty sure it was a team from another country that was in this spot, and they had their stuff set up way different than anyone that plays in the States does. And so it was like a huge wall in front of where we needed to be. So we had to work around this wall in between the other two that are on each side. So that was a little bit of a challenge, but by the second day we had it all figured out, and we're being able to pay attention to our crap.
Nice. And not trip over there. And so, we have to work around the 24-hour teams, and so their pit box, their setup spans basically the entire, from line to line, and then it goes up 2 stories, and then it goes back to, you probably have the width of a golf cart to walk through between the fence and then their tent. So it's definitely huge. So when you have a language barrier with a team from another country and a completely different setup and hoses, cords, zip ties all over the place, before everything gets situated, it's definitely trying.
Yes.
But, other than it being a bigger show, it felt very familiar to PWC, right? It was... Tech was a little more intense. They've got this sweet lift that gets you underneath the car.
Cool.
Yeah, that was pretty intriguing.
Yeah, you're on like a raise, essentially a raise system from from garage in to garage out, and then you have like your ride height checker, you have your camber checker, you get printouts of everything. As we're in PWC, like you have to take pictures of all the recordings, like all your car specs, and
and they don't when they tech your car, when you roll through IMSA Tech, they just tech your car and they give you a print off. Versus PWC, you roll through and you pass before you can race. As to where IMSA, you roll through, and if you don't pass, they don't tell you. And so,
that's an interesting wrinkle.
Yeah, so if you want to win, you got to know what you're doing, and you can't be waiting for tech to catch you slipping up on something.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So if you win, you're in Park for May. And,
if you're a mil low, you're a mil low, and it's your own fault.
Yep.
By the way, you were too gangster, too low, too much camber. We're excluding you.
Is your seat legally supposed to be tilted that far back as well? I don't understand.
Nice.
Yep. Man. Well, there we go. That's the one big thing I wanted to ask.
Any more questions?
Oh, we've got more questions.
We asked our listeners.
Yes, we did.
And our followers on Facebook.
I peeked at that earlier in the day, and I didn't see much. But
well, we got a few.
There was nothing when I looked.
Well, don't worry. Now there's stuff. So
plenty of it.
Dallin is bummed there is no live stream. Dallin Felton, we featured.
Yeah, he was under the impression that there was.
Unfortunately, not yet, Dallin. Not yet. Don't worry. We're working on it. It's the goal for February.
Now, here's the thing.
Well, just an audio live stream.
Okay.
So, you can just sit and listen to one of the episodes.
I don't know that I saw your name on the patron list, Dallin.
Oh, don't.
No.
No. Don't
I
worry.
won't give you that much shit.
No. Let's see.
Patron list?
Yeah, for our Patreon account.
Okay.
There we go. Patreon.com/CamAutomag.
Yeah.
Yep.
Handbag Automag?
He's probably already on top of it.
He probably is.
Yep. Dallin.
We all love Dallin.
Yep.
Dallin knows we love him.
Don't worry, Dallin. You're in the hopper from Ian Lacy Racing to come on this podcast.
It's true. I would actually love for Dallin to be on this.
Just going to have to wait till his number's drawn.
Yep.
Out of the 6 remaining.
Well, don't worry. That's why we have the random guest generator.
I was wondering what those were for.
A random guest generator. I roll a D20 for initiative. If I roll a 1, I just don't say shit the whole podcast.
That's what we're here for. Let's see.
Kelly Christiansen asks you, hey, Casey, when's the part out?
I'm not sure what that's referring to. Don't have one happening anytime soon. That's for sure.
All right, then.
Okay.
Let's
That
see.
backfired. Luke Dreyer asks, does ketchup belong on a hot dog?
I put it there.
Okay.
All right.
Well, actually, no, I'm going to go on a little further in depth on that one. What do you put on your hot dog?
Ketchup and mustard.
You just a plain old ketchup and mustard guy. Real simple.
The old Americano there.
He's a no veggie, no bullshit kind of guy.
I like it.
Well,
All the condiments.
you know, I was taught. There's many different ways you can have a hot dog. Right?
There-
chili
there-
cheese dog. I'll put chili and cheese on a hot dog.
There is
There we
no
go.
wrong way to dress a hot dog.
Well,
Okay, I got the real question though.
hold on.
Yay or
Hold on. There is a wrong way to dress a hot dog. Just present.
Actually, yeah, you're right. The fact that there's no more Johnny Beefs is. I mean,
Yeah, no, that's.
Johnny Beefs.
Johnny B. So, this guy Johnny, he
pouring a
moved.
40 on the curb right now. For
Yeah,
me.
he is like Southside Chicago dude. Like when I would go in there, I'm born outside of Chicago. I moved here when I was very young, but my parents lived in and around Chicago all their lives. We'd watch WGN here for our news. There were times where I would just be walking around with a delightful Midwestern accent. And then it would go away. But then over at Johnny Beef's, because Southside Chicago, just big gregarious dudes,
and
like
they-
Italian beefs and
and they
Chicago
knew-
dogs and everything.
They knew your parents by first name.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And he knew us.
Yeah.
That was another delightful thing. But yeah, no, it was. You go to Johnny Beef's and you get a hot dog any way you want it, except without ketchup on
In
it.
Chicago.
No, here.
Oh, here.
Yeah,
It's
it was-
Chicago style, Chicago food here.
Yeah, like you could get Chicago dog, with like the all beef frank and the sesame bun and the neon green
Ooh.
relish and everything.
There we go.
Yeah, then you get Italian beef, which is just a delightful sandwich.
And I thought there was nowhere new to eat in this town.
Oh, it's gone now, unfortunately.
Damn it! I knew that was going to happen.
See, the
Yeah,
thing is,
good
all the
things
soccer
never last.
moms in Mercedes SUVs decided that for whatever reason, Jersey Mike's is better.
Or decided that
Jersey
J
Mike's.
Dogs.
J-Dogs, sorry.
So like salty ass J Dogs was where you can
Just
really
shitty boiled hot dogs.
where you can really taste the salt,
Yeah.
not the
You
meat.
got to support the ward, man.
Exactly. So yeah, J Dogs, and then people would be like, "Well, why is this hot dog costing me $6?" It's like because
We put X's on it.
we put all this stuff on there. Like, well, I can go to the Maverick and get one for $1.
Do that.
Good luck with whatever the hell that is.
Right.
Great F horse meat, baby.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, Zach.
Put your hand down.
Down in front.
yay, yay or nay? In and out.
Oh,
Yay,
fucking
man.
yay.
Oh,
Oh.
fuck. Fuck this
So
shit.
yeah, we actually just had a huge in and out conversation.
Oh, dang.
I'm fucking
really?
done.
It's always a hot contest. I mean, I'm just saying. I don't like In-N-Out because it
I'm a
does things
yay
to me,
because, well, I was born in Southern California, but was not raised down there.
Mhm.
And of course, my father, every time we went down to visit the family in Southern California,
It
know,
was-
it was-
go to In-N-Out.
It was always this is the real shit.
This
Like,
is the
that's-
place. See the halo above that building? This
Yeah,
is the
that's-
place.
I will admit that, at least from my experience, In and Out in California is way better than In and Out here.
That's what people say. That's
Well,
what people say.
That's the
Oh.
one. That's
Well,
one
here's
place
the
where
thing: people here.
They also like J Dogs.
That's the problem. That is the problem.
Also, yes.
I was born in Texas and lived in New Mexico for a little while, and had access to Whataburger,
I've never had a Whataburger.
I've had
Which-
that once in my life.
Fantastic
which
things.
kicks the shit out of In-N-Out in my book.
The one I went
have to go
to
for it.
was like they must have just got rid of the manager like 2 weeks ago
man.
Oh.
because it was not impressive.
Mm.
It was bad.
Man, I want to say I would buy you Whataburger to just prove to you to regain your trust.
One of
I
these
will,
days
I will
it
take
will
initi-
happen.
I will take initiative and make sure that we have a
Okay.
biased opinion
Okay.
on
When
In
we're
and
on
Out
the when
versus
we're on the road.
Whataburger.
Yep.
Next
You're
More something.
next-
Yo.
Yeah.
Next
All
time
right.
you're in,
next time I pass a Whataburger, I'm
Yeah.
gonna stop there
Do
and
it.
be like, "This is for Dave."
and here's the
This
thing.
one's for Dave.
What do
If
we
you-
get? What
if-
do we get? What's the jam at Whataburger?
Okay, you can get just the double cheeseburger, just pretty much anything. All the standard burger stuff applies, right? You can do that. My personal favorite and the choice that I recommend to everybody is if you are specifically in New Mexico you get a green chili double.
Mm.
So it's a
That's-
double cheeseburger with a bunch of
Green chili.
diced green chili on it.
That
And,
sounds
you know,
good.
New Mexico's famous for their green chili.
Yeah.
And that is just amazing. That is the jam.
You got me
You-
hungry.
You do a large, you get a large double green chili, and then you get like a strawberry shake.
Mm.
They do banana shakes. You can do like I think some of them even did like something crazy like peanut butter shakes. But I mean they have a whole bunch of different
That's so
flavors. but
crazy.
I just do a green chili double with a large Dr Pepper and like a medium strawberry shake.
There we go.
You
Yeah.
get the fries and
That's
done.
I'm
That's
into
what's
it.
Done.
happening.
There it is.
There we go.
You will never
It
eat
is
it in
now.
and out again. At least in a state that has Whataburger. they're primarily Texas. So.
We're going to Austin, boys.
Yeah, next time you
Yep.
guys are at Coda, find the closest Whataburger.
If
Yeah,
we can make it
there.
past the like little burger shack that's just down the road.
Oh,
my
yeah.
god, have you been
I've-
there?
Yeah.
I've heard some things
Oh
about
my
that burger
gosh.
shack.
Dude.
So good. So good. I can't even think of the name. We had
That little burger shack down the road.
I think it was bison or something last time. Yak. It was yak.
Oh,
It was
all right.
delicious.
Really?
Delicious, yeah.
man.
'Cause, I mean, I've had bison. I mean, we obviously have native bison in the state.
Got
but-
beefalo.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
way
beefalo.
wrong with bison. It was
Yeah.
yak.
Oh yeah,
Some of those
The
more
place-
exotic meats, man.
That's it.
the place down from Grantsville sells beefalo steaks.
Oh, do they?
And then I looked at their herd, and it definitely looks like beefalos.
Okay.
All right.
Good to know. That's that smell.
Oh, also, completely weird tangent. All the potholes have been filled in Grantsville.
Holy shit.
All of because they just got funding and $18 million
Yeah, that's true.
from the sale of a fraudulent
Tooele-
racetrack.
Tooele County's like, bitch, I know guac is extra.
Like our road to our shop. Oh,
And you get asphalt, and you get asphalt,
No.
and you get an asphalt.
They keep those things totally separate. When you go out to the track, have you
Oh,
seen
yeah.
that fine line on the
Uh-huh.
road?
Yeah.
It's like you are entering Grantsville, and
It's
it's like
just-
the road goes from like a nice gray to just fresh black.
Yeah, it's so funny.
That's a poverty line.
our,
It's a distinct poverty line.
That's so great.
the road out to our shop had some gnarly potholes, and it's like a 2-mile road. And there was like we've lost a truck in a couple of those holes. And I went out there this weekend. I'm like, oh, we gotta avoid that hole. It's not there anymore.
oh,
That's good to know, actually.
Yeah.
I haven't been out there in a couple weeks, so.
yeah.
Well, anywho, we're
Well, we got-
running a little short on time,
Well,
so.
and we only got 2 more, thankfully. So let's see. John Landry, ask him what he thinks of Group T weed trucking.
Holy shit, bud.
This is what Mason was referring to when he was like, "Yeah, we know what we're talking about out on the dry lake beds and just going for it." Dude, James and John have come up with, well, you know, it's probably been a pastime for about everybody, but they're taking it to the extreme. They are
John was telling me about this stuff last time I talked to him out of the proving grounds.
Yeah.
When he had his Beamer out there.
They're finding like $500 vehicles that run and drive, and then they're going down to the Burgess's place and getting the takeoff off-road tires
Yeah.
from those Pro Light trucks, and they're throwing them on these $500
How the
vehicles.
fuck do I get part of this shit? Whoever.
No, dude, you do not.
Yes,
You do
I
not.
need this. I need this.
So
I don't know. Mason's usually down for whatever, but he's just saying no and waving you off.
It is
like a
an
terrible idea.
eye-opener. You know, if there was more safety equipment involved, I would be a lot more for it.
What,
But,
you mean
I'm
a
still
lap belt
down.
isn't good enough for you?
dude, lap belt was so scary.
I'll slap
I've got video on my phone of this. I'll have to show it to you guys. But the time that I went for a ride was in this Isuzu Trooper.
Oh, God.
I think
I've
it's like
seen video of this.
I think it's like a 98 or something.
I thought
Already
I thought it was
sketchy.
a Pathfinder, but yeah, I
There was. It started out
Was
as
it
a
a
It
Pathfinder?
started out
Okay.
two totally separate vehicles. So there was
but
the
similar fates, right?
yes.
Okay.
The Pathfinder lived they have this A to B course that is A, to B, and they time it. And I think what was
How many vehicles go from B to A again?
You didn't even make it in its
'cause I
inaugural
don't think
run, dude. We got it.
I was going to say, I don't think that the Pathfinder made it from B back to A. Did
the
it?
average amount of laps that these vehicles make are 4.
Oh, okay, cool. Wow.
Yeah.
Yes.
I went on the first lap with James. James
Okay.
was so excited to take me for a ride, and that is exactly what it was. So get in the Trooper, because the Pathfinder has already died.
Uh-huh.
I did not even get to experience that.
Brakes
been
dead,
rolled. It's
strut
been
tower
rolled.
through the...
Oh God.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, exactly. You're onto it.
Oh, man.
And-
yeah, I watched video of that. He was showing me that. It was good.
And so James gets me all, hyped up to go for a ride with him on this course. And I went on the course the night prior in my own truck.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, well, we go through here. I'm like, oh, yeah, that'd be pretty fun, just like trying to keep it on this little road as best you can while
Yeah.
going flat out.
Some trophy truck shit, man.
Holy shit, did I was unaware of what I was getting myself into.
Nice.
And they still act like it's not that big of a deal.
Like, what's the next
So
one?
they take the thing 100% serious. They got someone timing and calling out the green as soon as you go. And so I'm in the passenger seat. I thought locking the seatbelt strap, the shoulder strap to me would like work, but no, it still had a huge soft spot. And James just floors it as soon as he hears green. And I'm like, oh, here we go. And then all of a sudden it turns to, oh my God, we're gonna die. Because we come into this little ravine and we're totally overshooting what you could even call an apex or where you should turn in. And I thought that was it. I thought we were done for. But little did I know, we're going to go a whole minute 47 seconds on this course, like
It was like
flat.
3. Isn't it like 3 minutes?
I thought it was a minute 40 what I did, and you did a minute 30 something.
wow.
We did it. No, it's like 3 minutes. It's like
Those are-
3:40.
Those are some very
It's gotta be
different
3
times.
It's got to be 3 minutes, dude, because it felt like forever. Like in the passenger seat of that truck, dude, from turn 1.
It was scary. There's mud ruts that are like a foot and a half deep on this course.
How
and
long
then
is that video?
Into the bushes.
God.
I'm not sure, but I'm not going to get stuck looking for that video on my phone right now.
Either way,
Wow.
Either way, scary as hell. You can hear it in my voice
Yeah, like,
on the video, was so petrified.
even hear
I'm
it a
telling
little
him
now.
to slow it down because we don't have enough safety equipment. I thought that it was going to be like, if we rolled it, I was done for, all sorts of stuff, right? And then everything's okay, we finish, and then I go for it the next the next run. And I was going pretty good until caught some sagebrush, and it gave me a flat tire. And
You were going pretty fast to hit.
tore
Sagebrush.
the valve stem off.
yeah, that's
Oh.
the problem. The sagebrush eats the rubber valve stems off the sides of the
Oh.
tires. So if you're not on course and you end up off course, you're going to end up with a flat. And yeah, so I went half and half with tires and the other half with 3 tires. And yeah, I kept it together. And it was a blast. There's still like the third vehicle. They've moved on to a third vehicle because the one I speak of, the Trooper, it got rod knock like the middle of the 4th round, something like that. Then they got this Ford Explorer with a V8 that they've been trashing around until something hit the oil pan and it doesn't have oil in it anymore. So yeah,
How do I get in contact with these guys? Like, this seems like way up my alley.
Okay, here's the thing. I'll message John later.
Okay.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Like, we have a rally Corolla, Zach. I don't know if you realize this.
This isn't what I've been wanting to do for so long.
I don't think the Corolla will make this course.
I'm down to give it a try.
I want to see this video.
Yeah, if you're willing to sacrifice it, yeah, give it a try.
I've done some rough shit with my Subaru. So
There is a rock garden section that is no joke. The rocks,
Wow.
the rocks at the minimum are sticking out like 6 inches, and then the average is definitely a foot.
And they have points. They have points on them.
Where's this course at? Like,
It's
roughly
just right outside of Grantsville, right behind James and John's place.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're not going to take the Rally Corolla, but I do have something else in mind.
Alrighty.
I'm gonna find a Subaru to kill on it.
I'm gonna have a chassis in a couple days.
I think he just wants a $100 beater that works.
Yeah, no more than $500.
Any-
and
Dude,
no turning wrenches.
$150. It's yours. No engine. No engine.
Not worth it.
This guy.
No.
So-
Talking it. What about the $40 transmission?
Yeah, dude, I'll throw it in the back for free if you buy it.
Damn.
Yeah, so that's
Weed truck.
yeah, Group T. Group T.
Oh, man.
It's out of control.
Sounds amazing.
And then the last question, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much cooler than you is Prima?
That's an easy one, right?
Yeah.
11.
She's over here.
Where is she?
You look down on the ground to where she's supposed to be, and she's like,
She's over here next to Mike.
Yeah.
Making new friends.
Yeah. Well, I mean, finally we're friends. Known her long enough.
right.
Yeah, she's a good pup.
Yeah.
She started out as a biter. A couple people know, but she's better now.
Yeah. And that last one was from either Dave or Matt over at NASA, Utah.
That was posted from the NASA, Utah.
So
account,
that's why I
so-
say it was either Dave or Matt.
Right.
So
Bet you it was Dave.
I
Dave
guarantee you it was Dave.
Never seen Matt on the internet.
Nope. Nope. Well, except for the one time he showed up on this podcast.
That
where-
is true.
Where me and
Damn.
Dave pitched him a bunch of terrible ideas.
Well, here's the thing: is he pissed on Spec Panther, and then Cole did Spec Panther.
Yes, he did.
Now there's a bunch of taxis banging around in Tooele.
I thought I saw you today, actually.
You thought you saw me?
Yeah, there was a trailer full of taxis being towed from the compound.
Oh shit!
Yeah, some big
Nice.
purple Dodge truck with 2 taxis on the trailer.
I don't know anybody with a purple truck.
Thought it was you. Glad I didn't hang half my body out the window. Dave!
You should have done it anyway.
I'll see you later, Dave!
Trying
Should have done it anyway, because
That
then
would've
somebody
been
would
great.
message me and be like, "Hey, do you know somebody who thinks that you own a purple Dodge?"
Maybe.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yep.
Well, should we go ahead and steer this thing back into port?
Yeah, let's do our best to land the plane.
Okay.
I just
Casey,
want to do a couple barrels first, though.
I mean, we're going to do what we can. Guys, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
You're so
fun.
welcome.
Yeah.
Thanks for allowing us to be on this very delightful podcast.
Hey, no
Yeah,
problem
man.
at all.
Hey, you don't have to kiss ass, man. You already finished.
Yeah,
Hey.
you're good. You're good.
You already got the spaghetti
I'm
and
a
the
little
chicken.
sad there weren't that many questions, you know.
I mean, it's just one of those things. Like some people, you know,
they just
depends-
don't like me.
It depends on who's
Oh.
paying attention, really.
Just
Nah,
kidding, no.
it's one of those.
I
like,
get that a lot.
Some people will get just questions out the ass, and then some people.
Did I see that right? Like Bruno Carniero liked that?
Oh yeah, so I posted this in the NASA Utah Enthusiast. Thought they would get a little bit more play. Did not. Got a lot of likes though. So
I think if you would have put a picture of a car up instead of a picture of me, it would have been
know.
a whole different ball game.
probably
look
would
at
have.
that. Ian Lacy, Andy Munch, Bruno Carniero,
Jan, Emilio.
You even got Ian on the internet for that one.
Yeah.
Ian was excited to come on here when I
Well-
brought the idea up to
Well,
him.
don't worry. You go back and you tell Ian that
Tell him how much fun this
I'm
was.
a-
Oh, he knows.
Oh, yeah.
He knows his turn's coming.
Oh yeah, good.
Yeah.
Probably sometime in February. I'm assuming because next couple weeks I imagine are going to be very busy down at the shop.
Yeah, we fly out on Sunday
Damn.
to go down and do some extra things to the car and have it ready
Nice.
for the rest of the team to show up.
Yeah. Oh, we should probably say the car is not the aforementioned Ginettas. It's the Mustang GT4s, new
Yes.
cars to the program.
Yep, brand new Mustangs.
Yep.
They're pretty sweet.
Yep. Dropping the Ginetta because it didn't fit both World Challenge and the IMSA Michelin whatever it was.
Yeah, that is that's the easy way to describe it. That's for sure.
Yeah, it didn't. Yeah,
It's a limited car. It's
Limited competition.
yeah, it's So I think you stepped up into arguably the best GT4 chassis that you can probably get your hands on.
yeah. The That is what we were looking to get, was something that wasn't limited as much as the Ginetta was.
Yeah.
The Ginetta is a great car, but it is has too much potential.
Yes.
Everyone seems to think in that BOP world.
Oh, yeah.
So
Oh, gotta love the BOP hammer.
yeah.
That's always a fun one. Alrighty. Well, let's see. Follow the misadventures of one Mr. Casey Barrett on Instagram if you choose.
Yeah.
Right? Maybe.
Yeah, if you want. Not too exciting, but
No. Occasionally you post videos from Daytona.
yeah, yes. I try to share the cool stuff as much as possible. You know.
So that's
Canu Barrett, CANU BARRETT, if you want to follow along.
there we go.
Hell yeah.
Mason, where can we follow your adventures?
You can catch me on Instagram at More_Mason, MORE_Mason.
All right.
There's a lot of Rusty, a lot of action sports, and some racing too,
Yeah.
as well. So
Yeah, Rusty being the dog. Hi, Rusty. Stay over there and be adorable.
good boy.
Such a good boy.
If you love me, blink. Look at that. See?
Yeah. Attaboy. Yup. So, yeah, there we go. Ian Lacy Racing on Facebook, G3 Racing on Instagram as well.
Yes.
So there we go. We'll link to all this in the show description. So don't worry, everybody. We're not going to make you memorize anything.
But there will be a test.
There's always
Oh shit! I wasn't taking notes.
it's called life and adulthood.
Yes.
That's the test.
It's coming quick.
I'm failing. I'm
Learn
failing
how to
real
balance
hard.
your checkbooks.
What's a check?
Anyway, so let's see. Did that us on the social medias? If you want to tell us how good we did, or file a complaint, or whatever, ask us a random ass question like Luke Durer's question about the hot dog thing. That was delightful.
Indeed.
That's kind of the more random shit I'm looking for.
I mean, we might just work that into the standard list of questions we ask our guests.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, we are at CamAutomag on all the social medias. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter that I don't really check, but it's there.
That's
Yeah,
okay.
don't Twitter.
Yeah, don't get into it. It's not good.
It's a little too presidential for our taste.
It's not good. It's not people talking to you, it's people talking at you. That's really it.
Yeah.
So steer clear from the
These are
first
my
here.
thoughts. These are my thoughts typed out.
Yep.
Anyway. You can find us Google Play, Spotify, Apple Music, pretty much anywhere you get all your podcasts.
Yep. Rate, review, subscribe, share with your friends, because much like a lot of things in life, this is better with people.
It really is.
Yeah.
And, if you're listening to this and like it, chances are your friends do too.
Yeah. So there we go. As we mentioned, the
Sharing is caring.
damn right it is.
It really is.
Share with everyone for more fun.
Mm-hmm.
One more.
There you go. No,
Come
that's
on,
all I
Mason.
got. No.
There we go.
Can't force it.
No, you
No,
can't.
just
Don't
gotta let it
force
happen
Don't force
organically.
2 out of 3 is okay.
They're like
Yep.
farts. If you have
Yeah.
to force it, it's probably shit.
Damn. If you liked anything that you've heard, support our cheeky shenanigans by going to CamAutoswag.com and buying something, or just giving us money directly on Patreon, patreon.com/CamAutomag.
Mm-hmm.
Highly recommend giving us $5
At the very least.
and doing that for at least a month.
Get
That'll be
your shenanigans on.
damn right. Yeah, there we go.
I mean, I think that's it. I think we're tied to the dock now.
Yep.
We
There
can
we go.
step off this boat.
Yep. What's left of it?
It's been flooded, but
Yep.
it's still here.
Episode 158 of the CAMcast. I have been Mike.
I've been Professor Dave.
I've been Zach.
Casey was here.
I've been Mason.
There we
Hey.
go.
We did it.
Yep.
Oh, dear God.
We've done it.
Oh,
It has been done.
and those
Yes.
dogs are still so cute.
Come here, Prima.